Did you know that the FBI fails to solve around 20% of the cases they take on? That's right. Even with all their resources and cutting-edge technology, they still hit dead ends. But what if I told you about a husband who managed to fool them completely? This unbelievable story is going to blow your mind. Welcome to the Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB, and today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping tale of deception that will keep you on the edge of your seat. We're talking about a husband who not only outsmarted the FBI, but kept them in the dark for far too long. Grab your popcorn because this narrative is about to unfold in the most intriguing way possible. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our thrilling stories. For more content and behind-the-scenes insights, head over to our Linktree where you can support us on Ko-fi, access exclusive episodes on Patreon, and browse our merch store for true crime goodies. So picture this. A seemingly normal suburban couple living their everyday lives. But behind closed doors, things were far from ordinary. The husband, let's call him John, was involved in some shady business that the FBI had no clue about. When law enforcement started investigating a series of suspicious activities linked to John, they faced a major challenge. John was crafty, leaving behind just enough breadcrumbs to keep them guessing. While the FBI prides itself on its investigative prowess, this case was proving to be a real head-scratcher. John created an elaborate facade, manipulating evidence and spinning tales that had the agents running in circles. Every time they thought they were onto something, he would slip away into the shadows, making it incredibly difficult for law enforcement to connect the dots. Before we dive any deeper, if you're fascinated by stories like this, you'll want to follow us across all our platforms. Catch our latest video drops on YouTube, and join the discussion on Rumble, DLive, and Kick. Plus, stay up to date with real-time crime news on our website. As the investigation progressed, the FBI began to piece together the puzzle, but John was always one step ahead. He employed a range of tactics to mislead the agents. From fake alibis to well-timed distractions, he was a master of deception. The FBI's initial leads led to dead ends and frustration started to mount. But then something shifted in the investigation. Agents noticed inconsistencies in John's story and began to dig deeper. They started to unravel the layers of deceit he had constructed. Interviews with neighbors and friends painted a different picture of who John really was. Little by little, the truth began to creep into the light. But would it be enough to finally catch him? Want to dig deeper into cases like this? Don't miss out on our exclusive content available on Patreon. Plus, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter for updates, previews, and community discussions. Stay connected with us on every platform. As the FBI dug deeper, they found discrepancies that could no longer be ignored. For one, John's alibi for a key incident was falling apart under scrutiny. He claimed to be at a business meeting miles away, but there were gaps and overlaps in his timeline that simply couldn't be reconciled. Agent Smith, who had been working on the case from the start, noticed that John's phone records didn't match up with his supposed whereabouts. This was the break they needed, but it was just the tip of the iceberg. The agency doubled down, digging into every aspect of John's life. They discovered that even his closest confidants were not always aware of his plans. Some neighbors recalled odd, late-night activities. That didn't mesh with his upstanding citizen facade. The false sense of security John had cultivated began unraveling thread by thread. Surveillance was ramped up, and John's every move was monitored meticulously. The agents were slowly but surely piecing together the true story. But John was no amateur. He sensed the net closing in and started to act erratically, making slips he never would have before. The FBI also found that he had offshore accounts and was involved in a series of under-the-radar transactions. That raised more than a few eyebrows. All this painted John not as a mere family man, but as someone deeply embedded in a web of lies and illicit activities. The facade of the perfect suburban husband was crumbling fast. To further complicate things, John's wife, who initially seemed oblivious to his acts, began to show signs of knowing more than she let on. Interviews with her revealed contradictions in their stories. It was now clear to the FBI that John had either manipulated his wife into covering for him or she was inadvertently helping him, without realizing the full extent of his schemes. The agents were now closing in from multiple angles, and the once assured John was running out of tricks. Just when it seemed like John would once again slip away, a breakthrough came. The team found a hidden storage unit. under a false name packed with evidence that linked him to several criminal activities. This discovery was pivotal. It exposed the scale of John's operations and provided a treasure trove of clues. The FBI had finally managed to corner a very elusive criminal, setting the stage for the dramatic showdown that would follow. Want more of these in-depth dives into captivating cases? Follow us on Patreon for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access. Jump into the discussion on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter to share your thoughts and theories. We're always just a click away on your favorite platforms. The turning point came when the FBI uncovered a crucial piece of evidence that John thought was well hidden. It was a simple mistake that would cost him everything. Agents had been meticulously tracking his movements when they noticed an inconsistency in his timeline. On the day in question, he had claimed to be out of town on a business trip. However, a traffic camera had captured him driving near the scene of one of the suspicious activities under investigation. This tiny but significant slip-up was all the agents needed to tighten the noose around John's elaborate facade. The moment of realization for the FBI was spine-chilling. Armed with this new piece of the puzzle, the agents focused their efforts on corroborating their findings. They dug deeper into his phone records, pieced together a more accurate sequence of events, and even found a witness who could place him at the scene. The web of lies John spun was beginning to fall apart, thread by thread. The tension reached a fever pitch as the FBI prepared to confront John. He, living in blissful ignorance of the evidence mounting against him, was going about his life unassuming and confident. The agents coordinated a simultaneous operation, knowing they had one shot to catch him off guard and break his composure. The ensuing confrontation was dramatic, to say the least. In a high-stakes operation, the FBI cornered John in his own home. The agents presented the irrefutable evidence they had painstakingly gathered. John's demeanor shifted from confident to visibly shaken. He tried to explain away the evidence, weaving more lies and excuses, but it was evident that his time was up. The crack in his once impenetrable armor was now a gaping hole, exposing the truth he had fought so hard to conceal. The suspense was tangible as the agents made their final move, taking John into custody. His elaborate schemes, countless hours spent orchestrating a perfect crime, came crashing down within moments. The story had come full circle as he, the master manipulator, found himself outmaneuvered by persistent law enforcement. Justice was finally served, and the cautionary tale of John's downfall would be etched into the annals of criminal investigations forever. In the end, John's cleverness was no match for the relentless pursuit of the FBI. They finally caught up with him, and as the dust settled, it was clear that this story was not just about deception, but also about the lengths people will go to maintain their lies. John faced serious consequences for his actions, and his story serves as a reminder that even the smartest criminals can slip up. The case highlighted the challenges law enforcement faces when dealing with skilled deceivers, and it left everyone wondering how many more cases like this are out there. So what do you think about this wild story? Would you have guessed that a husband could outsmart the FBI like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to hear more unbelievable stories like this one, be sure to check out my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, you can stay connected with us on all your favorite platforms. Visit our Linktree to find links to our latest blog posts on Medium, crime discussions on Threads, live streams on Twitch, and more. Stay connected with us everywhere. Facebook, VK, Telegram, Truth Social, and beyond. No matter where you are, we're there too, bringing you the darkest mysteries and most shocking crimes. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep questioning everything. Remember, the truth is out there. Sometimes it's just hiding in the darkest corners of the human heart.